Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to focus on some relations, geometric constraints that are very important in Solidworks. Sometimes we use them in order to make a sketch fully defined. Sometimes the sketches require us to do such geometric relations. Let us see. First of all, on the command manager, we click on the sketch tool and we choose the front plane as the plane that we are going to do our sketch. So first of all, we can focus on the tangent relation. Firstly, we have to draw a circle. We don't have to make this circle sketch fully defined. Then we draw a line. For example, in our design, we want that line to be tangent to this circle. In order to do this, first of all, we click on the line. Then by continue to click on the control button, we click on the circle. In this case, we determine the two sketches simultaneously. Then on the left side of the interface, the relations that we can add in between these two sketches show up. The first one is the tangent. We click on the tangent and from now on, this line will be tangent to the circle. Then we can determine one more line, which might correspond to the radius of the circle. And for example, we want this line to be perpendicular to the radius of the circle. In order to do this, we first click on the radius, then click on the line, and adding the relations part, we choose the perpendicular relation. From now on, the angle in between these two lines will be 90 degrees. So, in this case, we can determine the lengths of these two lines by using smart dimension. For example, let us determine the radius of the circle as 50 mm. But of course, the sketch is still underdefined. The problem is this: we don't know, we haven't determined the exact length of this line. In order to do this, we can depend on the geometric relations in Solidworks. For example, first of all, we click on the radius of the circle. Then, by clicking on the control button, we click on this tangent line. Then, in the adding relation part, we can determine the equal relation, so that the lengths of these two lines will be equal, will be the same. In order to understand this, we can click on this line and understand that its length is also 50 as the radius of the circle was. So, but of course, since the ends of this line, their positions are not strictly determined in the space, in the plane, so the sketch is still underdefined. So, now we exit from the smart dimension. In order to delete the whole sketch, we choose the whole sketch and then click on the delete button. So of course there are many other relations as well. For example, in between the arcs, we can focus on the tangent relation one more time. First of all, we draw an arc. So then we can draw one more arc as well. But this arc circle will not correspond to the first one. Therefore, we choose another point and then click the arc in that way. Then, for example, we want these two arcs to be in the tangent fashion. In order to do this, we progress in the same way. We click both arcs in succession, then choose the tangent one. So in that case, the curve will be smooth and it might be very useful. But of course, we have to determine the radius of the arcs in order to make the whole sketch fully defined. So let us delete this. So there is one more very useful relation as well, existing as well in Solidworks. So first of all, we draw two arbitrary circles in the Solidworks. Then we click on the circles in succession, and then we click on the concentric relation. If we choose this relation, the small circle will be inside the larger circle. The concentric relation might be very useful in the sketch that we do in Solidworks. So we delete this as well. Especially when we draw a rectangle, we can focus on the geometric relations in Solidworks as well, especially to draw the circle, to draw the sketch in fully defined section. So first of all, we click on the rectangle tool on Command Manager. Then we click on the second way to draw a rectangle. As we have discussed in the previous video, in order to make the sketch of a rectangle fully defined, we have to determine its side lengths. But this is just a way. We can do this way as well. So first of all, we determine one side of the rectangle. Then click on the perpendicular edges of the rectangle in succession, and in adding relations, we determine equal, so that eventually we will end up with a square whose sketch is fully defined. So in Solidworks, even if we draw the sketch on two-dimensional plane, you can see your sketch in three-dimensional space. In order to do this, you have to click on the middle part of your mouse, and then by continuing to click on this part, you can change the position of your cursor so that you can evaluate your design from three-dimensional space point of view. So other way is to do this. On the top part of your interface, there will be icons. If you click on the display style, sorry, not display style, if you click on the button left to the display style, you can determine from which aspect that you want to consider your sketch. For example, this one or this one might be useful in your sketch. If you click on the space on your keyboard, this display section will automatically open. So that's all for this video. Thank you for listening to me.